Hey guys, so there are so many different vehicles that you can choose when doing full-time RV life for your little get-around vehicle. And for us, clearly you can see that we've selected a motorcycle. We have a Honda ADV 150, and today we will be telling you the top 5 reasons why we chose a bike as our toad for our RV. And stick around to the end so you can see the reasons why maybe one size does not fit all.
All right, while Gabby is taking the straps off, getting ready to take the bike off, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how we actually use our bike. So what we were looking for in a get-around vehicle was, one, something just to move us around. So we like to stay in like state and national parks, sometimes boondocking that can be up to 30 minutes, I would say, from a near location. And we wanted something that would be able to move us to go and see cool things. We also were looking for something to go maybe pick up on some groceries or small items, so a little bit of storage capacity would be nice. And then another reason why it's really nice to have a secondary vehicle is honestly just peace of mind, just a secondary way to get around if we need it.
Okay, so the first pro is really going to be the compact size of the motorcycle that allows us to be very small anywhere we go. So we don't have to worry about this big vehicle behind us. We can reverse just fine. So our ladder to the edge of the bike is probably about 2 feet max. So that's really all that's extending outward from the back of the RV. So not big at all. Clearly it's not taking up any more of a width footprint. So it's very, very compact. This part down here is our farthest hanging out point. If we drag anywhere from going up an incline, it is the back of this. We're actually potentially looking to get a hitch receiver raiser, so that way it will be at a bit of a higher, I suppose, elevation, so that way that doesn't scrape. If you guys in the comments down below have any suggestions for maybe how we should be fixing that, let us know.
All right, the second big pro that we love about this setup is that it's super easy to take up and set down. So we're gonna show you, we can put a timer on the screen how long this takes, but basically there's just 2 ratchet straps holding the bike in place, and then there's a little ramp that we put on the back that we can roll it off.
Yeah,
ready?
We're good.
All right.
You almost ripped off the taillight.
Normally it's a little bit easier because we're not right behind something, but you just want to make sure that you have a clear space behind you and it's pretty easy to take off. We just leave our rack on here. It just stays in this place all the time, so it's really easy to load up when we're ready to take it back up. Okay, next we got to talk about fuel efficiency, because when we bought this RV right here, we knew it was going to be kind of a gas guzzler. Turns out that we get about 8 to 10 miles per gallon with this RV. So we knew when we were getting a secondary vehicle that we wanted something to kind of offset that. We wanted to be as eco-conscious as we could. And so the bike we got is actually rated for over 130 miles per gallon, which is crazy. So in real world testing with riding 2 of us, and we probably tend to go at higher speeds, we get about 90 miles per gallon, which is still so awesome and over 10 times as much as what our RV gets. It has been such an awesome vehicle to have. And that is gonna lead really well into our next pro, which is what this thing costs to operate. Okay, so looking at all the total costs that we've put into this bike, honestly, it even impressed me. So the MSRP of the bike they advertise as $4,349, but when we reached out to dealers after dealer markup fees and all that crazy stuff, we couldn't find any for under $6 grand. So we went to the used market to find this bike. We ended up finding one in the Tampa, Bradenton area and picked it up with 2,200 miles for $3,500. So the simple decision of going with used versus new saved us probably 40% on the purchase price. Then when it comes to insurance, we prepaid 12 months for insurance, and that cost us $245. So an average of just over $20 per month to insure this bike. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't driven any cars that can be insured for less than that. So that was pretty cheap to see. And then the gas price is where it gets even more impressive. So like I mentioned before, our bike has been getting us on average 90 miles per gallon. We have driven this all over the country. We went up to Michigan, over to Yellowstone, Washington, all around the country, and our bike has been our transportation vehicle to get all around these national parks and any cities that we've been to. So we have put a total of about 3,000 miles on our bike since riding it. And how much has that cost us in gas? So it's cost us a total of $107.20 to drive 3,000 miles on our motorcycle. So our motorcycle is definitely more efficient than the average one, but that was just so cool to see. It definitely puts me at a peace of mind, not feeling guilty or anything about taking the bike out because it's so efficient and it's so affordable to drive. Now, in an alternate reality, we would love to be able to get an electric bike or even get an electric car that we could potentially flat tow for environmental reasons, but because of these other things like cost and just feasibility, this bike has been such a good bang for our buck, and it's honestly pretty hard to beat.
All right, let's talk about the compactness of this bike and all of the places that it can fit. Because traveling around national parks, especially in summer, getting a parking space is like finding gold. It is so packed, and with the bike, we've been able to fit in places that no car could. So right in between cars, we just squeeze right in. So we've never had an issue parking this bike, which has been such a nice experience. We get prime parking for trailheads, we get prime parking for grocery stores, whatever it is, we've been able to handle it no problem. So the compactness of this bike has definitely been a huge plus, really something that we did not consider until we started experiencing it ourselves. Aside from the compactness factor, nothing beats how fun it is to ride around a bike.
So we covered all these things that make it just an awesome vehicle for us, but it doesn't come without some downsides. So the first one that we wanted to highlight here, which I would say isn't as bad as some other bikes, but is storage. We definitely have a limited amount of space that we can put things in. When we need to pick up like big loads, we'll bring a backpack with us. So we have some storage that can go under our seat and then some can go in a backpack. We can fit 40 pounds of dog food carrying. Yes. So that was the limit of our test. We've done huge loads of laundry. That's kind of like pushing the limit for the bike though, but
you
it's
also
just
have a small storage compartment for like your phone.
Yeah,
and the front left cubby.
There is some pretty good storage.
Yeah.
Like
it has a USB plug or something.
It's like top-notch storage when compared to other motorcycles. So that was one of the reasons we got it. It is pretty good, but it's just never going to compare to something like a car. That's another tough thing when it comes to riding the bike is honestly just overall versatility. It's really good in a lot of situations, but a few things I would say it doesn't excel at. And one of those is going highway speeds. So we can get to about a top speed of 65, which has gotten us to be able to jump on a highway if we need to, but we definitely don't want to. It's not overall the most comfortable to ride at those speeds, and going long distances I wouldn't say is like as luxurious as riding in a car.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we use Google Maps, and Google Maps on the app has a feature that when you do directions, you can just hit avoid highways. So a lot of the times that's how we get from point A to point B.
One thing that Google doesn't have a feature for is avoiding weather. If it's raining outside, or sometimes rain comes out of nowhere and you can't predict it. We've been out sometimes on hikes and wanting to come back to the RV and it's just been pouring out. The one time it was hailing.
I was just saying, we got caught in hail.
Yeah,
yes.
We did get caught in a hailstorm. So that does make it a bit more challenging to ride the bike because you can't just go anywhere whenever you want. You definitely have to coordinate a bit with the weather.
And the last part that we'll cover here is just gonna be overall comfort of the bike. I would say we're comfortable riding this bike for probably about an hour out on a ride. Anything more than that, back starts getting stiff, your butt might start to hurt from sitting on the seat. We've done, I think upwards of like 16-mile hikes on this trip. And so just when you're tired, you just kind of want to sit in the AC in a truck, maybe blast your music, whatever. And unfortunately with a motorcycle, we don't have those luxuries.
There are other bikes and motorcycles that are more capable than the one we have.
Absolutely.
We specifically chose ours for other benefits like fuel economy and storage, which is awesome, but you can get a bike that's more made for like highway driving and is going to be way more comfortable. We just kind of had to weigh all our pros and cons, and this is what we went with.
All right, guys, on that note, that's gonna do it for this video. Any questions or comments you have, please drop those down in the comment section down below. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you guys like the way our bike looks, maybe give that a thumbs up because I'm a fan. So
don't hate on us too much for calling it a motorcycle. It's just, it's a motorcycle, it's a bike, it's a scooter, whatever you want to call it.
if you're on two wheels, it's a good day, right? So give a motorcycle wave, have a good day. But guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. How's that?